You'll definitely be surprised how much power these simple characters hold in daily conversations. So let's find out together. Hello everyone, I'm Lux and welcome to my channel. On this channel, we talk about everything related to learning Chinese Mandarin. If that sounds good to you, you're more than welcome to subscribe and join our community. So in this video, we will be exploring some beginner level Chinese expressions that are commonly used in daily life situations, and hopefully, you can apply them right after you watch this video. The first group of expressions is centered around the frequently used character 好. So this character in itself, it means good or fine. It's among the oldest characters created by our ancestors and one of the first a beginner should learn. So the character can be divided into two components, 女 and 子. So one of the explanations is actually 女 plus 子 and becomes 女子, meaning women or female. Researchers speculate that the character was actually likely created during the matriarchy era thousands of years ago, when females played a significant role in their group's survival and reproduction. So therefore, combining 女 and 子 into 好 extended its meaning to encompass positivity and general goodness. Nowadays, this character is frequently used in greeting phrases such as 你好, which translates to hello. 你 is a singular pronoun for you, while adding the character 们 after 你 creates the plural form 你们. So, to greet two or more individuals, instead of using 你好, you can also use 你们好. So in public spaces, it's common to hear 您好. 您 is also a pronoun for you, but it's a more polite form. Normally, you'll find people use 您好 when addressing the elderly, individuals held in high regard, or unfamiliar people in public settings. And now that we've discussed how to say hello in Chinese, let's explore some additional greeting phrases that utilize the character 好. So the phrase 早上好 translates to good morning, as 早上 means morning. Similarly, 下午好 means good afternoon, as 下午 means afternoon. And lastly, 晚上好 means good evening, as 晚上 refers to evening. When meeting someone for the first time in Chinese culture, it's common to greet them with 你好. However, it's also very important to say goodbye when leaving. So there are two ways to do this in Chinese. The first one, 再见. This phrase is actually considered a more formal one. 再 means again, once more, and 见 refers to see and to meet. 再见 literally translates to see you again. And the second way to say goodbye is less formal and borrowed from English, which is 拜拜. It's the same thing obviously as 拜拜. So in Chinese, the phrase 谢谢 is used to express gratitude or say thank you. To respond, one can use either 不客气, meaning you're welcome, or 不用谢, meaning sure thing. And when apologizing in Chinese, it's very common to use the phrase 对不起. To respond, one can simply say 没关系, which translates to that's okay, it doesn't matter. Next set of expressions is related to the Chinese character 是. A 是 sentence is a determinative sentence that uses 是 to indicate what someone or something is equal to or belongs to. So to form a negative sentence, simply add the negative adverb 不 before 是 and becomes 不是. For example, you could say 我是老师 to mean I am a teacher, or 我不是医生 to mean I am not a doctor. And a common mistake that I see students often make is saying something similar to this sentence. 我是20岁. So which sounds really odd to native speakers because 我 is not equal to or belonging to 20岁. So in contrast, in the previous sentence 我是老师, 我 and 老师 both refer to a person and are essentially the same thing. And now, let's discuss some phrases that involves the character 人, which translates to human or person. When you combine this character with the name of a country or city, it signifies that you're from that location. For instance, if you're from America, you can say 我是美国人. I know a lot of you guys who are watching my videos are from a lot of different countries, which are really cool. So leave a comment down below just as a quick practice and let me know where you are from. Okay, moving on to the next one. Let's talk about the character 去. The verb 去 means to go. And what we are going to talk about today is sentences with a serial verb construction. Okay, it might sound really intricate, but trust me, it's actually super simple and very commonly used in daily conversations. So the format of this type of sentence usually goes like this. Subject plus verb number 1 plus verb number 2. The verb 去 is usually taking the place of verb number 1 in such a sentence. For example, you can say 我去图书馆看书, which means I go to the library to read books. In this type of sentence, the second verb often serves as the purpose of the first verb. Depending on the context, the object of the first verb, which refers to the place, can sometimes be omitted. Then, let's talk about some expressions related to the character 在, which means to live or exist. Depending on the context, it functions as a verb or a preposition. So as a verb, it's commonly followed by a word of locality and indicates the location of somebody or something. For instance, 我在学校 means I'm at school. 在 can also function as preposition, used before a word of a locality to indicate the place where an action or behavior occurs. So take the example of 我在学校学习. So which is really similar to the previous sentence 我在学校 except for the addition of 学习, meaning to study, which is the actual verb of this sentence. So here, 在 actually functions as a preposition. But in reality, in real conversations, I highly recommend you only memorize the format and structure of these sentences, which is either subject plus 在 plus word of locality, denoting the presence of the subject at that location, or subject plus 在 plus word of locality plus verb, implying that the subject is doing something at that particular location. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about the Chinese character 请 and its usage in daily conversations. You'll often find the verb 请 is used before another verb to indicate a polite suggestion or hope. For example, you can say 请坐, which means sit down please. 坐 means to sit. The meaning of this word is very similar to the English word please, which allows you to indicate politeness and respect while making a request. Start practicing these basic expressions and sentences to begin your Chinese conversations today. And what? Want to learn more authentic Chinese phrases? Check out this video here.